Hello, Tony here for the final video. Alright, so quick disclaimer, high score for the attractor mode, sound system, explosions, and field swapping from player 1 to player 2 unfortunately don't work. Also, there is a bug where the centipede will occasionally throw an error in attractor mode. I think it's probably due to the wipe, but I didn't have time to fix that, nor did I have time to make the centipede all pretty, so still doesn't rotate and whatnot, and it has a couple slight graphical issues. But that's that. Alright, so let's take a look at the blaster and some strategies for it. Oh, I also added a state machine for the AI mode. Pretty basic though. But that's for the AI gunner. I'll show him in a second doing his thing. So we got blaster strategy. This is the AI strat, or that's the header file for it. There's the AI strategy. It's got a state machine there. This is the players control. Got this actually leads to a state machine for the bullet, which is fire strategies. There we go. So state machine for the bullet. Well, technically it goes through the blaster, but it's for the bullet firing. It's pretty basic. It just makes the bullet follow its blaster and shoots it. The ready strategy is for when it's following, and then the firing strategy is for when it's interacted with, more or less. Alright. I'm gonna show the blaster doing his thing. So we got tractor mode, doing attractor things, tracting. Again, no high score, unfortunately. Right, I can hop into player 1 mode by hitting 1, and scores working as they should. Spider has variable scores. I'll show the code on him in a second. Oh, when you die, resets the board and whatnot. If I die 3 times, it'll go back to attractor mode. Whoop. Right, there we go. Let's swap in to player 2 and show that he can die and switch to player 1. There's not really any visual indication, but if you score as player 1, it will show as player 1. He has his own score. And of course, if both of them die, and oh, that was a strange error. Yeah, okay, so this happens occasionally. There's some null pointer. I think it's when the board gets wiped in attractor mode too many times. But I hope you don't consider that a game-breaking bug. The game does play. You can play through 3 levels or more, depending how good you are. But if you leave it in attractor mode too long, it does that, unfortunately. But I needed the centipede to kind of, run the whole thing, so I didn't want to take it out on account of that. And also, the attractor mode starts up every time. But it shouldn't be an issue for testing the rest of the game. Alright, so we got... I am recording, right? Yeah. So... Oh yeah, I was going to show the other critters, or the critters. So let's start with the spider. We got spider spawner, or controller, as I've labeled it. Pretty basic. Spawns through the factory, which they all have their own factories and recycling. Although the 3 critters, flea, scorpion, spider, they don't really have a stack to recycle. They just have a single pointer, because there's only ever one of them on the screen at a time. So I just recycle the same one over and over again. It seems to work pretty well. so far. Of course, if I wanted to change that and have more than one of each, all I'd have to do is add a stack and then just add on to the stack. But I figured this was more efficient in memory, so I would do it this way. So spider, we got constructor doing all the constructor things. Got some basic logic here in the update. Probably should have made a state machine out of this, but didn't have time to do that. It's got a little bit of randomness to it. Eats mushrooms. I think if you look back in the video, you'll see it doing some of that. Or if you look forward when I play the game for something else. All right. Scorpion. We've got initialize function update. So yeah, it switches sides, poisons mushrooms, as you would expect. Got the spawner here, spawning through the factory, just like it should. And it does the same thing with recycling. There's nothing there because it has a single pointer where it just recycles the same object over and over again. Since there's only ever one on the screen at a time, so there's no reason to have a stack for it, but it would be a simple fix regardless. So we got flee, pretty much the same, but it goes down and checks for mushrooms, of course. And we got flee controller, respawns, of course, everything goes to the factory, which has a similar pointer setup. So got all the spawning. Alright, so that should do for that. Let's take a dive into the centipede, which, again, has a few bugs. They're not great, but this is what it is. So got we got state machine. This is the big boy state machine. It's got all the states, each like you can look through them all if you want. They've each got a split function so that it'll split properly. That just helps with it deciding where it wants to go. Got specific ones for the poisoned ones, specific states. Alright, so, oh yeah, of course, the offset arrays are only computed once. Should note that. Let's look at the centipede itself, or at least the head. So, got initialize function because it has a factory that recycles because recycling is good for the earth. So yeah, update. Oh yeah, this passes all the orders down to its subordinate bodies. All right, so we got creates mushrooms through the field, which creates it through factory. After this, I'll go take a look at the mushroom stuff. All right. Oh yeah, we got this token here is a node that sets up. That's part of a node here in the factory. It makes a linked list of nodes that each point to a centipede head, which will then has a function that will destroy itself and or it will destroy all the bodies underneath it and then mark for destroy itself. So got this here. This runs through them all, and head. You got where is it? There it is. Kill centipede. It will then iterate through the centipede subordinate bodies. Right. So if we take a look at the body segment, it's slightly different. Got the splitting logic here. This part here is to calculate where the mushroom drop point is, because a lot of times it's like in between frames or in between like specific squares, so you gotta figure out where that is. Collisions. Oh yeah, this here is to make sure that the length is all fine and dandy. And the nodes I was talking about earlier are in this active list here for show the active bits. So they're pretty basic though. They're mostly just to facilitate the using of the using of the functions that are in the head, centipede head, and the factory. All right, so that should wrap up the enemies code-wise. Take a look at the mushrooms. All of this. So mushrooms haven't changed that much for a while. Now we got poison, health, of course. Do the structure. Right, so we got poison. This shows that this sets the animation to poison. This is functions for when it gets eaten by the spider. Reset function. That's an unused function. When it collides a bullet, subtracts 1 health, has 4. Here, max health. Comes down here to health. All the trying to get rid of magic numbers, of course. All right. So let's look at the spawner, or the mushroom field, or mushroom controller in this case. I probably shouldn't have labeled things controllers, instead labeled them spawners, but it's too late to go back on that now. Alright, so this bit here goes through the process of spawning all the mushrooms. It's a little long because of the requirements for the mushrooms growing. Initialize the spawners. Oh yeah, this bit here, actually, yeah, okay. So this initializes the spawners, which is the function called by the game manager, if I remember correctly. This is so that they all get a pointer to the mushroom controller relatively naturally. We've got some basic functions here. Let's take a look at the game manager. Speaking of which, we've got. Well, I probably should look at the wave control and the scoring. First, let's take a look at the game manager, though. All that includes this. I put all the terminates in the game manager destructor, which terminates in the scene, just to make it, just to kind of keep track of them all. Because I have almost all the initializers in, at least all the singletons that need initializing in the game manager. Not all of them need to be initialized. We got centipede controller, which is not a singleton. A few other spawners. Oh, actually, I'm wrong. That function in the mushroom controller is actually unused. Bit here. All right, so let's take a look at score manager. Oops, did not mean to do that. Score manager. Oh yeah, it has score commands as well. Let's take a quick look at the score commands. So simple value command, as expected. Base class. Then we got the distance dependent one, which the spider uses. You can see it's got a far, medium, and close value, which would be, if I remember correctly, 900 points, or 300 points, 600 points and 900 points. Here, all the values pushed in. All right, let's look at the actual score manager. We've got some the values here. Oh yeah, there's the all the score values set as constants. All right, I did move the scores over to the player. We'll take a look at the players and the player manager in a second. Right, so we got initialize function, of course, initializes the HUD over here. So this the score manager manages the HUD more or less. It's also deletes the HUD, of course, because it manages it. So tractor initialize right, add points, add points. So this adds points to the HUD, I believe. That's the public functions. These are the actual functions, private functions. So it adds points to the player manager and it updates the scores on the screen. Right. This function is for resetting AI score after a wipe. Right. So this switch statement gets the commands, hands out the commands. Right. So let's quickly hop on over to player manager and look at the player class as well. So the player class mostly more or less like data structure, just holds the data of the player and gives it out, takes it in from various things, all through the player manager. So got a reset function here, pretty dry. So got fairly large player manager class. Got some functions here. Here's the pointers to the different players. Got a player 1, player 2, player AI. So they all get created, of course, at the beginning. The constructors. Actually, it's initialize. I lied. And there is, of course, one blaster to rule them all, because why would you need any more? It starts up in AI mode or tractor mode. That is tractor initialize, so that's for when it switches back to tractor mode. We got some basic functions here. Oh yeah, of course, deletes everything. And we got update function because this is actually a game object, inherits from the game object. This is for this all here is actually just so that I can switch between things for demoing purposes, I believe. Or actually, I don't know if I have any other way to switch. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the only way to out of tractor mode, because you have to press the button, tell it whether you want player 1 or player 2, or you want 1 player or 2 player. Although it does start with player 2 and player 2 mode, so that's kind of weird. Right, so we gotta reset for level, bunch of stuff. Player dies, goes through some logic. Whether it's 2 player or not, switches. And we got some other stuff. Right, so we got switch. This is the logic for switching sides, or well, switching players. This is the public function. It just decides which one it wants to do, and then it actually does it in the private function. So next level, advanced level. Right, this basically just goes to the player and ups the level. Yeah, okay. So if I look through my notes, there is wave control left. Wave. Oh, I haven't showed the HUD manager either. What have I? So we got sprite sheet, a lot of stuff, but nothing too fancy here. Just, looks at it, hands out the correct glyphs, which are flyweight pattern, of course. Forgot flyweight. How could I forget flyweight pattern? the HUD manager. Right. So this stuff is unused. That's what I was gonna make height scores, but these are the only parts that are actually used here. So comment that out, and it won't affect it. All right. So gotta set all the scores to 0 so that they are 0, of course. We got add score function. This score, I believe this is the. Oh, actually, this is not a singleton, so it doesn't have to be private. Yeah, because this is subordinate to the score measure. Right. Don't need this either. Right. So there we go. Okay, I think I've shown everything, more or less. Oh yeah, wave manager. Okay, yeah, wave manager. Right. So wave levels are essentially just data structures, but it's a class because I like class. All right. So these are all the getters. Hand out all the information to things that want it. That's how it distributes most of the data for the levels. We got the text reader, reads this document, this wonderful document, which goes to level 3. All right. Anything else that needs to be touched on? This long string of if statements to read the document. All right. Let's just play the game. Go through 3 levels. What did I do? Oh, that's right. I commented some stuff out, which I must have commented out something I shouldn't have. I'll just uncomment it real quick. That was a HUD. What am I doing? Oh yeah, that'll do it. I forgot. I didn't uncomment. I didn't comment enough things out. All right. Oh, let's try it. I need to turn this in. Right. So I would like to play so that we can finish. Right. Just playing a game. Right. So that's level 1. Taking over to level 2. Oh, that was really convenient. Did you do that again? Did it again? Oh no. That should not have happened. That doesn't usually happen. All right, well, quickly do this again. It is getting late. Okay. Spawned a. Well, that's not good. That shouldn't do that. Well, I think I'm just gonna end it here. That is great. Terrible. I'm sorry. uh, I'll just, yeah.